Do you ever feel like you have a great idea in your head, but when you open your mouth in English, poof?
Yes, it just disappears. Or maybe it comes out sounding like, well, not what you planned.
Exactly. You are trying to express a strong opinion, maybe at work or in a cafe, and suddenly the words just won't come out.
That feeling, Mia, it's like hitting a linguistic wall.
Oh, that's a perfect phrase for it. Hitting a wall means you suddenly meet a barrier or a problem you can't get past. It stops your progress.
Totally, you're trying to share your viewpoint, but fear takes over.
That fear often comes from worrying about mistakes, right?
Right, we call that the grammar block. We're gonna fix that today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo.
Welcome to the English Blend.
We help you use English naturally every single day.
Today's topic is super important for communication: how to express opinions confidently.
We want to help you stop worrying about perfection and start focusing on communication.
Because that is the real key to confidence.
Exactly. So grab your coffee and let's get started.
Let's start with a big question, Leo.
Hit me with it.
What is more important, fluency or accuracy?
Oh, that classic debate. For expressing opinions, fluency wins, hands down.
I completely agree. Let's define them simply for our A2 to B2 friends.
Accuracy is about being correct. It's about using the right grammar, the right verb tense, and the perfect vocabulary. It's perfection.
Yes, think of accuracy like the details on a map. Everything must be precisely located.
And fluency?
Fluency is about flow and communication. It's the ability to keep talking without long pauses. It means getting your point across.
Ah, that's one of our key phrases for today. Get your point across.
It means making sure the other person understands your main idea, even if your grammar isn't 100% perfect. Communication is successful if the message lands.
So if I say, yesterday I go shopping for new shoes, that is inaccurate, right? The tense is wrong.
Yes, it should be, yesterday I went shopping. It's inaccurate.
But did you understand my message? Did you know I bought shoes yesterday?
Absolutely, I understood. The communication succeeded. Therefore, you were fluent in that moment, even with an error.
That's the core idea. When you are arguing a point or sharing an opinion, you need flow. You need fluency.
If you stop every 5 seconds to check if you used the third conditional correctly, you lose your argument. You lose the moment.
And you lose confidence. That hesitation signals insecurity.
Right. The person listening starts focusing on your pause, not to your opinion.
We want the listener focused on our brilliant ideas, not our verb choices.
Exactly. So, why does focusing too much on grammar cause this block?
It's the internal editor. We all have one, especially if we learned English primarily in a classroom.
The editor is the little voice inside your head that screams, "Wait, is that supposed to be has or have?"
And while you are having that internal grammar battle, the conversation moves on. The opportunity to express your opinion is gone. It's sailed away.
It's terrible because often A2 and B1 learners know the grammar. They can pass the test.
But they can't use it in real time. Speaking is fast. It requires immediate retrieval of language. It's like searching for a file on a computer.
If your file system is disorganized, if you have to check every single folder, you slow down.
And that slowdown is the loss of fluency. We are trying to train our brains to use language automatically.
Automaticity. That's a big word, but it just means doing something without thinking hard about it, like driving a car.
Or making your morning coffee. You don't analyze the steps, you just do it.
We need to get speaking English and especially expressing opinions to that automatic level.
So the goal is to quiet that internal editor. Tell it to take a break.
Tell the editor, it's not the end of the world if I mess up a preposition.
Oh, speaking of useful phrases, not the end of the world.
It means the mistake or problem is minor. It's not catastrophic.
If you miss an article or mix up since and for, not the end of the world. The conversation will continue. Your opinion will still be heard.
That's such an important mindset shift for confidence. We need to embrace small errors.
Let me give you a quick story about why fluency matters more than accuracy when expressing strong opinions.
Please do. I love your stories.
A few years ago, I was in a meeting. It was a very high-stakes discussion about a new project direction.
Big decisions, high pressure.
Exactly. There was a colleague, let's call him Alex, who had excellent, near-perfect English. His grammar was flawless.
The human dictionary?
Pretty much. But whenever he had to state a conflicting opinion, a viewpoint against the boss, he would pause for a very long time.
Waiting for the perfect structure. The internal editor was running checks.
Yes, he would finally start, but the momentum was lost. His opinion sounded weak, almost apologetic, because of the hesitation.
That's fascinating. The pauses undermine the confidence of the statement.
Contrast that with another colleague, Maria. Her English was B2, maybe B1 sometimes. She definitely made tense errors.
She missed a few articles, I bet.
Oh, many articles, but when she spoke fast, clearly, and with conviction. She used simple sentences but delivered them with energy.
So she prioritized getting her point across.
Precisely. She once said, I think we should move with Plan B because Plan A, it is too much risk.
Grammatically imperfect, it is too much risk should probably be it carries too much risk.
Yes, but the opinion was loud, clear, and immediate. She looked confident because she didn't stop talking. Her opinion won the discussion.
Wow, that proves the point perfectly. Fluency creates the impression of confidence even if the accuracy is flawed.
That's our mission. Communicate strongly.
Okay, so how do we actually build that automatic flow? Let's move into our practical tips section. We need real steps that quiet the editor.
Tip number 1, and this is crucial for expression. Focus on chunks, not single words.
Chunks. Explain that idea, Leo.
A chunk is a group of words that naturally go together. We use them constantly in English. Instead of learning think and about separately, learn the chunk I think about the problem.
Or for expressing opinions, don't just learn believe, learn the chunk I strongly believe that. Or in my opinion, this idea.
When you express an opinion, you start with the chunk. The chunk is stored in your brain as one unit.
It's like pulling out a pre-made brick instead of assembling individual grains of sand, much faster.
If you learn, I completely disagree with that as one unit, you don't need to check the subject-verb agreement or preposition. It just flows.
This bypasses the internal editor. The editor has nothing to check. It's one unit.
So when you are practicing, try to notice these opinion chunk expressions. Things like, I'm certain that, or I have a different take on.
Excellent. That speeds up the start of the sentence.
Tip number 2, the massive listening shadowing approach.
This sounds intense, Leo.
It is a commitment, but it's how we absorb the rhythm of confident speech. You must listen to English speakers expressing opinions, podcasts, interviews, debates.
Not just listening passively, though. We need to listen to how they argue their point.
Exactly. Listen for the intonation. When native speakers are confident, their voice pitch often drops slightly at the end of a statement. They sound definitive.
And shadowing means repeating what you hear immediately after the speaker.
Repeat their opinion chunks. Mimic their tone. Practice saying, honestly, I don't see it that way, with the same conviction you hear.
This trains your mouth muscles and your auditory processing at the same time. It improves the speed of your retrieval.
And the confidence in your delivery. You are borrowing the confidence of the speaker you are imitating.
I love that idea. Borrowed confidence.
This is especially helpful if you're preparing for a work presentation or a debate. Listen to confident speakers in that specific domain.
Okay, let's move to tip number 3, maybe my favorite one.
What is it?
The 3-second rule.
Ooh, intriguing. Tell us more.
When someone asks you for your opinion, or you have an idea to share, you have a maximum of 3 seconds to start speaking.
3 seconds. That's very specific.
It is. If you wait longer than 3 seconds, the internal editor wakes up.
It gets its coffee and its red pen.
Precisely. The editor starts thinking, is this the perfect phrase? Should I use the subjunctive mood here?
And boom, you've missed your window.
The 3-second rule forces you to use the language you already have. It pushes you toward fluency over accuracy.
So if someone says, "What do you think about the new office layout?"
You must immediately start with something. Maybe just, I like it because, or actually, I disagree.
Even if you start with an incomplete thought,
Yes, even if. Because once you start, the flow tends to continue. That initial push is the hardest part.
that is pure confidence training. It trains you to value immediate output.
Exactly. We are training the brain to prioritize communication. Remember, get your point across is the goal.
What if I start speaking and then suddenly hit a wall?
Great question. We talked about hitting a wall earlier, the set and stop, the mental blank.
If I'm mid-sentence and forget a crucial word, my opinion is stuck.
That leads us to tip number 4. Have bailout phrases ready.
Bailout phrases like an emergency exit?
Yes, these are simple phrases you use when you are about to hit a wall. They buy you time or transition the thought simply.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure. If you forget a complex word, you can say, "Wait, how do I explain this simply?" Or, "Let me rephrase that."
Let me rephrase that. It sounds professional. It suggests you are thinking deeply, not struggling.
Or if you completely forget the noun, you can use a simpler descriptor. Instead of saying, "the infrastructure of the municipal transit system," you can say, "the public transport stuff."
And then immediately return to your main point. This maintains fluency.
Yes. Remember, it's not the end of the world if you use a simple word. Simple communication is confident communication.
We are fighting against the urge to stop speaking. The bailout phrase keeps the engine running.
Let's do a quick role play of that.
Okay, I'll challenge your opinion.
Go for it.
Mia, I think all employees should return to the office full-time. What is your opinion?
Oh, I strongly disagree with that. I think working from home improves... Oh, wait, let me rephrase that. I mean that productivity goes up when people don't have that long commute.
That worked perfectly. You used the bailout phrase to cover the brief hesitation, and you still got your point across very clearly.
And the listener focuses on the benefit, no commute, not the fact I almost froze.
Exactly. Confidence preserved.
Let's add a final tip. Tip number 5, lower the stakes.
Lower the stakes?
Yes, we often practice speaking only in high-stakes situations, like a job interview or a big meeting. That increases stress.
High stress equals high activity from the internal editor.
Right. We need to practice expressing opinions when it's not the end of the world if we mess up.
Like where?
The cafe, the grocery store, your study partner. Use these simple, everyday moments to state your preferences or disagreements.
So at the cafe, instead of just pointing at the menu, say, I believe the chocolate croissant is the best option today. Express an opinion about something simple.
Precisely. Practice the act of expressing conviction. I prefer the blue shirt, honestly. Or, I think that movie was terribly boring.
Simple opinions, but you are training the delivery, training the confidence.
The more you use those opinion chunks, I think, I believe, in my view, in low-pressure situations, the easier it is to access them in high-pressure situations.
It's building muscle memory for confidence. That makes perfect sense.
Let's quickly review the useful language we covered today.
First, we had get your point across.
Meaning to successfully communicate your main idea. Focus on the meaning, not the grammar.
Second, we used hit a wall.
That sudden moment where you stop and can't remember how to continue. Use a bailout phrase when you hit a wall.
And third, my personal favorite for calming anxiety, not the end of the world.
Which reminds us that small mistakes are okay. We must allow ourselves to be imperfect to be fluent.
That ties back perfectly to the difference between fluency and accuracy.
Fluency is the goal when you are trying to get your point across,
Accuracy is for editing written reports.
not for live, confident conversation.
Let's talk more about those chunks, because that's the practical way to apply the 3-second rule. If you have the chunk ready, you don't hesitate.
Right. Let's look at different levels of conviction when expressing an opinion. If you have a weak opinion, what chunk should you use?
You could start with, I suppose, or I guess maybe. These lower the intensity.
But if you want to sound strong and confident, which is our topic today,
Then we go for the strong opinion chunks. Things like, it is absolutely clear to me that, or there is no doubt in my mind that.
that sounds very firm. That projects authority.
Even if the sentence structure following it isn't perfect, the opening chunk provides the confident tone.
Let's compare. If I say, I think maybe office is better than home,
That is tentative. It sounds like you haven't fully decided.
but if I say, I firmly believe the office setting creates better collaboration,
Boom, instant confidence. Even if you then use an awkward phrase, you have already established authority.
it's all about the delivery, the phrasing.
And remember the massive listening tip. You need to hear how native speakers deliver these strong opinion chunks.
Practice mimicking the CEO's tone. Mimic the news anchor's confidence.
Let's elaborate on the internal editor, because this is where the fear lives.
The editor is fueled by stress and perfectionism.
And classroom testing. In many learning environments, 90% accuracy is required. That makes us fear the 10% error rate.
But in real life, if you are 80% accurate, but 100% fluent, you are successful. You get your point across.
We need to mentally give ourselves permission to make errors.
We need to acknowledge that if we hit a wall, we have the tools, bailout phrases, to jump over it.
The confidence comes from knowing you have a recovery plan.
Absolutely. Let's go back to our examples. Imagine you are having a discussion with your manager about a new strategy.
High-stakes situation. The editor is running wild.
Strategy A is yours, strategy B is theirs. You need to defend A.
Instead of thinking, how do I use the correct passive voice structure to describe the projected outcome?
You use the chunk, my recommendation is firmly based on, then finish the sentence simply.
Like, my recommendation is firmly based on the data. It shows that strategy A gives us faster results.
Imperfect should be shows, but extremely clear and delivered confidently within the 3-second window.
The manager heard recommendation, data, faster results. Success.
The grammar error is completely irrelevant because the point was made, not the end of the world.
What about using modal verbs for softening an opinion, but still sounding confident? Sometimes you don't want to sound aggressive.
That's smart. Confidence isn't just shouting. It's about clear, well-managed communication.
If I say, this plan is bad, that's very direct.
But if you say, I might suggest we review this plan's feasibility.
I might suggest is a softer chunk. It's confident, but collaborative.
Yes, you are still expressing an opinion that the plan needs reviewing, but you are using fluency to manage the social interaction.
So the chunks help us manage both confidence and diplomacy.
Exactly. And remember that crucial tip 5, practice low stakes.
If you wait until the big meeting to try out, I might suggest we review, you will hit a wall from nerves.
Practice it when ordering food. I might suggest the pasta. It looks really good today.
I see. It makes the phrasing automatic.
Think of expressing opinions like riding a bicycle. When you first learn, you focus on every tiny movement. That's accuracy. You fall over a lot.
And you stop frequently to check the pedals. That's the editor.
But once you achieve fluency, you just ride. You don't analyze the balance. If you hit a small bump, hit a wall, you naturally adjust, bailout phrase, and keep moving. You get to your destination. Get your point across.
That's a perfect way to visualize it. We want riding a bike confidence.
Let's recap our steps for building that kind of speaking confidence.
Step 1. Learn and use chunks, not individual words, especially for opinion phrases.
Step 2. Implement massive listening and shadowing to capture the rhythm and intonation of confidence.
Step 3. Use the 3-second rule to force immediate output and silence the internal editor.
Step 4. Always have simple bailout phrases ready for when you hit a wall.
Step 5. Lower the stakes. Practice expressing opinions in simple, low-pressure, everyday moments.
And our core philosophy?
Fluency equals communication, not perfection. If you get your point across, it's a win. If you make a mistake, remember, it's not the end of the world. Focus on the flow. Focus on the conviction.
And keep talking. That was a great talk. I feel much more confident just talking about this.
Me too. We hope this helps all of you English learners express yourselves more clearly and confidently.
Try applying the 3-second rule today. Tell someone your strong opinion on something very simple.
Let us know in the comments how it goes. We love hearing your success stories.
We'll be back soon with more tips and conversation practice.
Yes, thank you for tuning in to the English Blend.
Bye for now.
See you in the next episode of the English Blend.